everyone, it's Jack and Adam from Cultaholic.com, and it's time to talk about NXT Worlds Collide. Not a takeover, just a Worlds Collide, but that's alright because it's the one time of year that NXT and NXT UK collide and explode as well.
Yes!
It actually looks like a really good card, to be fair.
The matches are going to be really good, but it's just not a takeover, is it? But thanks for tuning into this video, and we'll be live streaming on Saturday night, youtube.com/cultaholic/live. There are 6 matches to talk about. Let's talk about the pre-show one first. It's Mia Yim versus Kaylee Ray, non-title action.
Non-title accident. I'm going to go for Kaylee Ray because I think that she's been on a bit of a roll and she retained the NXT UK Women's Championship, or is it just the WWE? She retained the United Kingdom Women's Championship, and I think they wouldn't have her lose in a non-title match to somebody in NXT who doesn't hold the title in Mia Yim. So I'm going to go for Kaylee Ray. I don't want to sound cocky or anything. Don't think it's too hard to want to call, Adam. What about you?
Well, I'm taking Mia Yim because I think she's... No, I'm not. I'm taking Kaylee Ray for a few reasons. As we progressed through the card, I think it's been quite difficult to choose ones where NXT UK can come out on top, but I think this is quite an easy one to give NXT UK a win, even if it's on the pre-show. And also I've sort of factored in the fact that Kaylee Ray is really, really fantastic and Mia Yim isn't that good at all. So I've gone with my kayfabe heart by saying Kaylee Ray is going to batter Mia Yim on the... It's going to be a good match. And I'm being horrible there. Mia Yim is good. I haven't... She's not clicked with me. In NXT, she's just not clicked with me.
It's a very stacked women's division. And you've got to be really excellent to stand out in that women's division. And I don't think she's quite there yet or hasn't been booked in that way yet, but I think that she'll have a chance one day. This isn't the day. This isn't the day she's going to do it. Next up, potentially match of the night, I think we're talking about here, maybe. It's DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano back together again, reunited, and it feels so good, against Moustache Mountain, Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. Who have you got and why?
I think this is really, really tough, but I'm going NXT UK again here. Mustache Mountain, it would just be such a big, big win for them.
Whoa.
I know, it's really, really tough. Who are you going for here?
I'm going for DIY because I think that Gargano's got a big match coming up against Finn Balor at the next takeover.
Yes.
And I think that Ciampa, he could realistically take the pinfall, I suppose, but he's been portrayed as really strong, despite never winning the title or anything since he came back from injury. He's been floating around the top of the card. So I don't think... I've gone for the safe option here, the more conservative option, and I've gone for DIY. But I would love to see Mustache Mountain pick up a win.
Me too. I think they could do with the win as well. It means such a big deal. A lot of people are calling this like a dream match, and I think it is in the present era. This is huge.
Yeah, it could be absolutely fantastic.
But my head says, hey, Trent's taking the pin, and that's just what's going to happen. But I want NXT UK to pick up a few wins here, and as we get further down the card, as I said earlier, I think it's less likely that it's going to be in any other matches, so I've sort of factored that in as well, but this is tough.
You know what, as well, after Tyler Bate won at the last NXT UK takeover, he got a big standing ovation from everybody. Triple H was on the balcony, Big Johnny Saint was on the balcony.
Give him a rub.
Yeah.
Give him a little rub.
And I thought, could that be almost like a farewell? Could he be moving over to NXT America edition with Trent Seven, and could they be having a bit of a run in the time?
Well, they shouldn't do that because they're equal.
Yeah?
No. Yeah, maybe. Hell of a match there. I think this is going to be a hell of a match as well. As you said, best match on the card.
Potentially, yeah.
Next up, the Cruiserweight title is on the line. The champion Angel Garza defending in 4-way action against Isaiah Swerve Scott. And these haven't been announced yet, so if you don't want to know who's in this match, I guess skip forward a little bit. They're going to be announced on NXT UK this week, but it's Travis Banks and it's Jordan Devlin. This is, again, all of the matches are going to be so bloody good. This should be absolutely fantastic. Who you going with?
I'm going with my head over my heart. My heart says Travis Banks, of course. WCPW great, Travis Banks. Travis. Great guy, love him to pieces. Brilliant guy, my favourite person in the world. But
why do you like Travis?
I just realised I was going on and on. I don't know, he was just really funny backstage.
He is a very funny man, yeah.
But my head says, and this is my official pick, Angel Garza to retain. Just because, even though he's won the Cruiserweight title in a fantastic match against Leo Rush and has held it for a little bit, I still think his reign has quite a long way to go. There's every chance he could lose it in this match and get it back at a later date, but I think he's just going to keep it, look really smarmy and charismatic in the process, And I think NXT might have a new star on their hands in Angel Garza. I think
Couldn't agree more. I think he's going to be... It's weird to call him the future of the Cruiserweight division when he's already the champion.
Yeah.
But I really see him being like a long reigning champion.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you here. I'm going Angel Garza. It was between two men for me here.
Can I guess the other one?
Yeah, go on.
Was it Jordan Devlin?
No.
All right, fair enough.
Because I just don't think they're going to put the Cruiserweight title over on NXT UK. They just renamed it. It's now the NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah.
Right? Championship, rather. So I think it's going to stay on NXT UK. And I really like Swerve Scott, but he hasn't had it for long, has he, Angel Garza? So I see him holding that. And I hope he holds it for a long time because I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He's really, really good. I'd love to see Kiwi Buzzsaw or Irish Buzzsaw Jordan Devlin with the belt, but it's not.
Oh, Isaiah Squat? Isaiah Squat, the American Buzzsaw. Scott. Not squat. I'm sure he does squats. How are these takes ending here? What are we doing? Right, next one we're going to nail it. We're going to nail the next one.
No, we're not.
That's wrestling. Next up, this sounds like we're repeating ourselves, but another potential match of the night, Finn Balor versus Ilja Dragunov. This is a really good matchup. I've seen Dragunov live. He is amazing at getting the crowd on his side, but can he do it overseas?
No,
Right.
Finn Balor is going to win this one. I think this is one of the easier matches to call. I think it's going to be very, very competitive, and I think it's going to be really fun to watch, but I think Finn Balor... He hasn't been back in NXT for long, and I actually think Finn needs this a little bit more than Draganov.
I do as well. I think that Finn has got that big match coming up at the next takeover with Gargano. I can't call that match, but this is part of the reason why I've picked both DIY and Balor to win their respective matches. So I'm going for Finn Balor as well. I do think, though, despite quite confidently predicting this now, there'll come a moment at our stream on Saturday night where we're both almost totally convinced that Dragunov's going to win because he's so good at near falls and just really making you believe that he's going to pick up the victory. He's just such an explosive wrestler, but I think that... In fact, no, I'll remember myself saying this and I'll think on Saturday, no.
You've ruined it for yourself.
Remember what you said in the predictions, mate.
Head not heart, Jack.
Yeah.
Stone face.
So I'm going to go...
I told you it's going to win.
So I'm going to go for Finn Balor as well.
Next up, the NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley defends against Toni Storm. Who have you got and why?
I've gone for Rhea Ripley. Again, I don't think this is too difficult to want to call just because clearly they've put all their eggs in the Rhea basket. They are... That sounds awful. That sounds absolutely awful.
Carry on.
They've put all their eggs in Rhea Ripley. No! They've put all their eggs in the basket that is marked current NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley.
Smashed it.
And I think that she's in line for a huge push. I mean, she's already in the midst of a huge push. We saw what she did at Survivor Series and at War Games the night before that. And I just think that she is going to continue, much in the same way as Angel Garza hasn't seemed to have held that belt for very long. Rhea Ripley hasn't seemed to have held her title for very long, but on even a greater scale. I think she's going to be really dominant, the next Shayna Baszler of the women's division. And I think that Toni Storm will put up a good fight, but I really can't see them switching the belt so soon, especially to somebody who predominantly appears in NXT UK.
I agree. I think it was such a moment when Rhea Ripley won the title.
Yeah.
Everyone stormed the ring and it was huge, and that was only a month ago. I don't think they're going to take the belt off her anytime soon. And part of me thinks, like, Worlds Collide, I'm very excited by it. Like, the card looks really great. It's going to be a fun night of wrestling action. But it's not a takeover, and it's a big title. I don't think they're going to do any title changes. And part of me was like, oh, okay, maybe they'll do one title change just to hammer home the point that, hey, Worlds Collide is a big deal because this is going to be a yearly thing and takeovers have swapped all over the place. But I just don't think it's here. I don't see any of these titles changing on Saturday night. So yeah, I'm going for Rhea Ripley also because she's fantastic.
And finally, big 8-man tag team action. I'm going to try and list off the teams, I'm going to try and remember all the names.
All 2 of them?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
no, but I'm going to try and remember
No.
all 8 of them. It's the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong.
Piece of piss.
Absolutely easy. Taking on Imperium, Volta, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel, and Alexander Wolf. He's done it. And yeah, that's going to be the main event, I assume.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah. Even though it's got the least on the line, I guess.
Maybe it won't be the main event, but it seems to be. I mean, they closed the last UK takeover with the Undisputed Era storming the ring and beating up Imperium.
Which makes me think that Imperium might have this, but I'm going to go Undisputed Era because they got all the belts. But maybe that's the reason that they're going to lose, because it would be such a big deal for the people with all the belts to lose the match and make Imperium look like such a big deal. I just don't think that WWE as a whole have that much, not faith. We saw how Walter was treated, right?
Yeah, it's Survivor Series.
Yeah. And that just made me think, oh, maybe they're going to undo that though. Maybe they're going to undo that here and have Walter like pin Adam Cole or something like that. Gee, I can't figure it out, but I'm going to go Undisputed Era because that's... Who have you got? Please say Undisputed Era as well.
I almost went for a draw, you know.
Oh.
I almost thought this is going to be a wild, crazy brawl and they're all going to get incapacitated.
Everyone laid out?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Instead, I'm going to take the risk and go for Imperium. I'm going to do it. I just think if you've looked at my predictions so far, apart from Kaylee Ray, I think on the pre-show, I've gone for all NXT America.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Imperium here. I don't know where they'd go from there. I don't know who would get the pinfall over who. I don't know if it would set up a tag title match in the future, maybe even a men's singles title match in the future between Walter and Adam Cole, which would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that in some way, somebody on Imperium's side is going to pull it out the bag and pin somebody in the Undisputed Era. And
Not little Kyle.
Well, not
little Kyle, Roddy.
It would obviously be Bobby.
Yeah, it would be Bobby, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be Bobby.
Yeah. Also, I've washed my my England shirt. I'm going to be repping NXT UK for this one.
Okay, cool.
England.
I'll wash my America shirt and
Yeah.
I'll be repping NXT Full Fat on Saturday night. Just a reminder, you can tune in youtube.com/cultaholic/live. Set a reminder now. There's no punishment or any of that. It's just a lovely little live stream. And then, of course, we got the Royal Rumble the night after. It's a hell of a weekend of wrestling. There's almost too much of it. See you later.
Thanks very much for watching and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.